My mother is pressuring me to pick between my boyfriend and her because his family treats me badly. I am 3 months pregnant. Hi, I'm Lily, a 19-year-old college student, and I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend Jake, also 19, for over a year now. Our story began in high school, where we met and quickly became inseparable. But life had different plans for us. Jake's passion for mechanics led him to pursue his dream of opening his own business specializing in luxury cars, which meant he had to move about 4 to 5 hours away from our hometown. Despite the distance, our love remained strong, and I fully supported Jake's decision to chase his dreams. We made it work, spending weekends together and cherishing every moment we had. However, things weren't as smooth sailing as I had hoped. The real challenge came from Jake's father, who never seemed to take a liking to me. Behind my back, he would make hurtful comments that cut deep, as if he didn't see me as worthy of his son or his family's legacy. I confided in my mother about these incidents, hoping for support and understanding. My relationship with my mother has always been close but complicated. She is fiercely protective, which sometimes translates into being overly critical of my choices. However, when it comes to Jake and his family's treatment of me, she has been nothing but supportive. She sees the disrespect for what it is and doesn't hesitate to stand by my side. But she is also worried about my future. She believes I deserve better, and now that I am pregnant, her fears have only intensified. Conversely, Jake is my confidant, my co-conspirator, and the only person who truly gets me. However, the personalities of his family add complications to our relationship that we both find difficult to manage. As I stand at this crossroads, torn between the love I have for Jake and the pressure from my mother to reevaluate our relationship, I can't help but wonder what the future holds for us. But one thing is certain: I refuse to let anyone, not even Jake's father or my own mother, dictate the path of my heart. I still remember the night I sat across from Jake's family at the dinner table, trying not to sulk while they traded barely concealed jabs. Underneath the table, Jake reached for my hand and gave me a nonverbal reassurance that everything would be all right. But the tension in the air, thick like a dense mist, could not be dispelled by his comforting touch. His mother's judgmental glances and passive-aggressive remarks felt like daggers. I had never been able to pinpoint exactly what it was that Jake's mother didn't like about me, but it was evident that I didn't meet her expectations. Perhaps it was my background, my upbringing, or simply the fact that I wasn't the type of woman she had envisioned for her son. Dinner felt like a test, with every move I made under scrutiny. As soon as we left, I let out a sigh of relief. Yet, even as Jake drove me home, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that lingered within me. The next day, I sat across from my mother in our living room, her disapproving gaze fixed on me. The atmosphere felt heavier than usual, weighed down by the unspoken tension between us. "I've been thinking a lot about you and Jake," she said, her voice laced with concern. "And I don't think this relationship is good for you." A knot formed in my stomach. I had anticipated her disapproval, but hearing it out loud still stung. "But why, Mom?" Choked out. "Jake is a good person and he makes me happy. Isn't that all that matters?" "It's not just about Jake, Lily. It's about his family too," she replied firmly. "You deserve to be treated with respect, not to be looked down upon." Her words hit me hard because deep down I knew she was right. But I also knew I loved Jake. I know it's not ideal, Mom, I admitted. But love can overcome obstacles, can't it? My mother sighed and reached for my hand. Sometimes love isn't enough, she said gently. You have to think about your future. Her words left me torn. Should I listen to her advice and walk away to protect myself from more pain? Or should I fight for the love I believed in? Then another complication arose, one I couldn't ignore. The discovery of my pregnancy came as both a shock and a blessing. I had suspected for a while, but it wasn't until I missed my period for the third time that I finally took a test. As the two red lines appeared, confirming my suspicions, a wave of emotions washed over me. Instead of feeling pure joy, I was terrified. How would Jake's family react? Would they see this as another reason to push me away? I needed to talk to someone, so I turned to my best friend, Sarah. As I poured my heart out to her, she listened intently and reassured me that she would support me no matter what. But even as we talked, I couldn't find a simple solution. Sarah told me to think about my happiness and my baby's future, but that only made my decision harder. For days I mulled over everything. I realized I couldn't let fear control me. Yes, Jake's family disapproved of me, but I refused to let them dictate my future. And despite my mother's worries, I knew that I had to make my own choices. Summoning my courage, I sat my mother down. Mom, I know you want what's best for me, I said. But this is my life. I love Jake and I believe in us. I know we'll face challenges, but I'm willing to fight for our future. For a moment she was silent. Then, to my surprise, she reached for my hand, her eyes softening. I may not always agree with your choices, Lily, she said. But I trust that you know what's best for your future. I just want you to be happy. Tears welled in my eyes as I realized that, despite everything, she was willing to support me. It was the validation I didn't know I needed. In the days that followed, Jake and I faced challenges, but our love only grew stronger. As we prepared to welcome our child into the world, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Life wasn't perfect, but it was ours to shape. And as I looked ahead, I knew that, with love and determination, we could overcome anything.